Video games.
I love
Are
them.
they sexy? Do they taste good? Why are they so goddamn expensive? We'll find out.
Because life sucks. 80
Well,
fucking dollars for a game.
I mean, think about it. Depending on the game, I think it might be worth it, but I actually, I've been thinking about that. Um, you know, I would like to know your thoughts on the current prices of games. Do you think with the work being put into said games, with high-end graphics and loads of content and even post-game content, do you think it makes it worth spending close to $100?
For me personally, I will have to say that I did go to school a little bit for doing like 3D animation for like games,
Hmm.
and it's not an easy fucking thing to do in the slice. There's so much that you have to pay attention to when making a 3D model and adding texture and all of that, making it look crisp and everything. Like, it takes a lot of work. So, to some degree, I think yes, it is worth the money because there is a lot of time that has been put into things like that. But
Hmm.
I, truth, I truth be told, I think that $60 is where it should cap at all times for a basic game.
For a
Because,
basic game, okay.
well, yeah, I mean, obviously you're gonna have your deluxe editions and all that stuff. That's fine and dandy that you get extra content, you do pay more for it. But with games here recently, how they've been released, some of them just being broken as all hell, not complete, or just like in Mortal Kombat's case, having a story and then like what a few months later decided to add on to that story for another fucking $60 or however the price may be for it.
Hmm.
Um, that's why I think that $60 is the maximum a game should be. And everything's going digital anymore, so that also cuts out the pricing that you don't have to really box anything up for packaging. So
Okay. I mean, I do think if you're going to buy a physical copy, yeah, definitely it should be worth some money. But
hmm
yeah, digital, I agree it shouldn't be overly pricey. Um, for a high-end game with, like I said, with, the best current graphics and, plenty to do, like, let's just say 60 plus hours worth of gameplay. I'm perfectly fine spending $70, $80 as long as it's a completed game, like you were saying.
hmm
Like, if it's gonna be missing things, if it's gonna be bug central, I don't want to spend that much on it. If anything, actually, I would rather just sit here and wait for that game to be fully completed, tested out before it comes out, because I don't want to sit there and struggle with a game that's like glitching out and then, oh no, I'm stuck and now I have to reload the game and lose progress or whatever. Or, you know, I just, yeah, I don't want to play something that's like, oh, here's part of the story for $80. Here's the other part for 60. Like, no.
yeah,
No. Like, if you're going to add on DLC later, to like continue story, add extra content, that is fine. But if it's not a great deal of content, I don't want to spend another 60 plus dollars.
okay. So here's my other thing with that too. So DLC to games, a lot of it is going for a full price game, and I think that that's absolutely ridiculous. Unless, like you said, put in Final Fantasy terms, we've been playing this game forever and we spend $60 whenever a new expansion comes out. That I think is very, very much worth it because you're getting so much more content into it. But there is a lot of times where DLC prices are just fucking outrageous for no reason.
Mm-hmm.
Probably one of the best that I've spent was Resident Evil 4 remake. They added separate ways into it, which was $10. I think it was either $10 or $20, and I was kind of salty at first because like Separate Ways was a part of the OG RE4. Like that was all included in it. But playing through Separate Ways, they added so much more to it. It was a lot longer. It was just a lot of fun. And 10-20 bucks was well worth paying for it. I honestly thought maybe $30, $40 would have been, a fair blah, 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 blah. fair price point as well.
Right. Yeah. In Mortal Kombat's case, if it was just
God.
if it was just strictly like character DLC, I could see spending a couple dollars per character, or if it was like a bundle of characters, then I could spend about $20 if it was, let's say, 5 characters.
Can you even buy them separate, or do you have to buy them all in a pack
You
with the
can.
season? Okay, I
Yeah,
was gonna
you
say
can buy them separately.
I think characters should be most $5 or $6.
Yeah, like I'm fine spending that. Now, when it comes to like story content DLC, like for instance MK1, that was beyond ridiculous the price they listed for, because from what I've been reading, isn't it only like 2, maybe 3 chapters, and that's it?
Oh no, you get
And
so much more. You get all these fantastic costumes that you know only really serve you well if you play online to show them off.
exactly. And while I appreciate the creativity that people put forth in these games that make characters unique or pretty or whatever, I think it's bullshit.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not gonna break the bank just so I can have a few extra costumes and play like an hour's worth of the story. Like, no,
At that
fuck you.
point, I've just I'm very happy with just watching somebody play it on YouTube. Like I can get my
Yeah,
fill from that and move on. I don't need to
ex-
spend that much.
exactly. Anyways, moving on from that.
So I have a question for you.
Oh boy.
um, if you had to be in a fighting game between Tekken or Mortal Kombat, which one would you be in?
Like me physically, I would be dead regardless because I'm not, the most fit person on earth, and I'm getting older, so bitch. Any one of those characters could literally hit me once, I'd probably just completely disintegrate. But if
But
I had to pick, it's like, okay, so you have Street Fighter, you said?
no, Tekken.
You just oh, sorry, Tekken. Well, whatever. Uh, anyway, I'd get my ass whooped, and then I would just, what? Basically be hospitalized and suffer. While in Mortal Kombat, I get, a fucking fatality, and I'm gone. So, hey, girl, bye. I don't have to suffer. I don't have hospital bills. I'm a headless corpse.
I love that in Tekken everyone understands everybody. Every single language everybody knows like fluently, and they just have conversations. Even with the fucking bear, they know what the bear's saying.
Oh my god. Like instant translator, like a microchip in their brain or something.
Right?
Which, hey, if they ever invent something like that where they can put an implant in humans that is like an instant translator, you can, understand and speak to each other. I mean, that'd be phenomenal. I would line up for that. I don't give a
Right.
shit. Like, I
Oh,
don't like like, anyway, I'm getting off subject. But
okay.
yeah, I would definitely pick Mortal Kombat just for the fact that I would be instantly wiped out.
Right. I got another really good one, and I'll answer it as
Mm.
well. All right. So you've watched me play Resident Evil, like all of
Hmm.
them. You've seen all the bosses and stuff. Okay.
Hmm.
So I want you to build a team of 5 characters from any video game, but you can only pick one per franchise. So this
Girl.
team is who you're taking with you to survive this zombie apocalypse of Resident Evil. Like all the bosses, every single creature is coming after your ass, and you have this team to protect you. Who is it?
Um, well, I'm gonna say this now. Like, first, is the number one choice for me would be Barrett from Final Fantasy VII. I mean, he's a big hulky guy with a machine gun for an arm. Come on, zombie.
You just like him because that's your daddy.
I mean, I wouldn't say no. But no, in all seriousness, the guy is like, he's beefy and he's got a machine gun that apparently never runs out of ammo.
So he's going to
Like,
be your tank.
essentially, yeah.
Okay.
Um, oh my goodness. I think, and this is gonna sound so dumb, but I'm gonna pick Kirby.
Oh no. I can see it now. Liquor coming up to go for you. Kirby sucks it in, puts on a little liquor cap, and just mauls everybody.
Little vicious Kirby, yep. It just eats everything. But yeah, like that would be a really good defense, is just the fact that he can eat everything and it doesn't affect him unless, he takes on their abilities.
Right.
So that would be number 2 for me. How many am I picking?
5. You got 3 more.
Oh God. Um, I really don't. I don't know. Like that is you really put me in a bind because like
Do you want me to come back to you?
yeah, because I'm seriously struggling with that shit.
Okay. Number 1 for me would be Aerith from Final Fantasy VII, because I want a healer on my team that can res.
You're gonna pick the sacrificial lamb, the one that is
She got
destined to
stabbed
die.
by a fucking sword. Okay, that's not a
And
zombie apocalypse. She's gonna
and
be fine. She's okay. She's
spoiler,
living.
she's dead.
She can res herself. It's
She's
all right.
she's a ghost now.
That's why we have Phoenix Downs, baby. We good. We chilling.
Mm, mm. Okay.
All right. So Aerith. My second one would probably be Sonya from Mortal Kombat, just because the bitch knows guns. Um, 3, probably Lara Croft, because she's dealt with supernatural. She's very good with guns, and she's very agile. So definitely her on my team. 4, I want to say Voltorb from Pokemon.
Oh my god.
No, bitch, like that is the worst.
Self-destruct.
Yeah, that's what I was going for. That's the worst case scenario, that if I'm just fucked, like everything surrounding me, just self-destruct and we're good. 5 would be. I like your Kirby idea, but I want to go with Yoshi. That way I'm going to have a mount, and he can also eat them and spit fire.
I mean, I could just jump on Kirby and he'll jump on his star and whee!
So did that help you out any?
Actually, it kind of did, because I do now have a few. So, okay. Speaking of characters that deal with supernatural, I would definitely have Simon Belmont.
For whatever reason, I thought you was going to go with Bayonetta, just because of that one video we watched where she did that
Oh.
stuff.
I would also have Doom Guy.
Doom Guy. I love how he has no name, just Doom Guy.
um, for obvious reasons. I mean, he has experience with demons and shit, so I feel like he definitely could handle his own. Um, if I had, you know what, I'm gonna pick. I was originally gonna pick Lulu from Final Fantasy X, but I was thinking, well, she's in a very heavy dress with shit ton of belts. She
And
can't
she's
really move that
slow.
fast.
She's
Yeah,
slow. By the
yeah,
time
that
she
shit
gets
will slow her
halfway casting Meteor, she's gonna be fucking 8, and everyone's gonna be staring at her with her titties all eaten up. Great job you did there, bitch. At least with mine, I had a suicide on a live pact.
down. But um, anyway, but if I had to pick like a magic user, I would actually, honestly, just for comical reasons, but also the power behind her spells would have to be oh god, what is her name? Shantoto from Final Fantasy 11.
Oh,
Because she'll be constantly going, oh ho 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 ho, and then fucking annihilating everything with her spells.
I want Kefka on my team now.
Oh, he'll just betray you and poison your ass and then laugh about it.
Yeah, but at least I die happy.
Or do you want God Kafka?
Yeah, yeah.
I mean, you just instantly win there.
Uh,
Oh, okay. So, I think that was my 5. But,
I
so,
I'm surprised you
huh?
didn't pick Scyther.
I, eh, I mean, what is he gonna do? Just slice up zombies?
I mean, he's super fast and he's got the sharp ass claws. Like he's gonna rip through zombies like crazy.
Yeah, but I mean, with the majority of my party, we could just hang back and blast everything into oblivion. We don't have to run in there. And if anything gets too close, then Kirby, hello,
True. I think
fucking little
we
pink black hole.
I think we would both survive.
Yeah, unless Shantoto, just decides to. I just said Shantoto.
Oh,
Unless she betrays me and just completely annihilates me with meteor.
you get all the way through. You beat the final boss, and she's like, "All right, I'm bored now." And just destroys everything.
Yes, but so here's a really good question for you.
Hmm.
Sorry, I blanked out for a second. Is there a game that is an absolute nostalgia orgasm for you that isn't as well known as some mainline franchises out there?
Uh,
Because we all know you love Resident Evil and Silent Hill, and
yeah.
knows you could play numerous times and never get tired of them.
So, are you talking about like a game that you can't go online right now and buy,
No, not
or
that. It's just like
not many
just an
people would
older.
know of it?
Yeah, it's just not
Okay.
as popular, but it brings you that nostalgia.
Yes. Manic Hema on PS2. That was a game that I think like every person I've ever asked if they've ever heard of it, nobody says that they've ever played it. But it was just like
Hmm.
the best JRPG game for me back in the day. How about you?
Um, so it's it's a game that's not as popular, but plenty of people have heard the name,
Mhm.
and you've mentioned it before. On, not on here, but just between us, and that's That's Jade Cocoon.
Oh my god, yes, that game was amazing. I used to love watching my brother play that.
Well, and see here, this is where my next question kind of bleeds into this subject because of that. And
Uh,
that is name a game that absolutely deserves a remake. Not a remaster, but a full blown remake.
okay,
Graphic update, everything.
okay. Um, wow. Probably Digimon World 3. That was, in my opinion, peak in the Digimon franchise. Like, to me, nothing holds a candle to that game because it's very nostalgic for me, for one. Two, the mechanics were just amazing. The story was pretty damn fun. It was very, very grindy, which was something that they can definitely fix if they ever remastered or remade the game completely. But I would say that game wholeheartedly.
Okay. That's a good choice. For me, I'm gonna have to go right back to Jade Cocoon. I think it deserves
Yes.
that kind of love. It's it's a very janky looking game now, and it just kind of needs a nice little upgrade. And I think it'll be good for the next 20, 30 years before the idea of remaking it once again ever comes up, if it even, if the world's even around then. For all
Right.
we know, we could just be in a big ball of fire.
Um. Okay. So my next question for you is, if you could live in any video game, what would it be, and why?
Live. Oh. Oh, that is difficult because, like, obviously, I'm a Final Fantasy fanboy,
Hmm.
so that would be like my general go-to. But then if you think about it, monsters are running amok all the time outside of cities. It's like, do I really want to live in, a world like that where I step outside city walls and oh no, there's something that's gonna, eat my face.
A little white girl done fell down the well again. Um.
Exactly.
But the thing is, like, if you're living in that world, you're gonna know like some kind of job class. Like,
Not entirely. I mean, look at how many NPCs are just plain ordinary villagers.
yeah, but those are because they're dumb bitches and they never pursued their career in magic in Hogwarts and stuff. So,
Oh, now we're just bleeding in. Okay. So, okay, I'll just go with the world of Final Fantasy in general. Not picking a specific number just because, they all have their differences and similarities, but um yeah, I mean based off of my personality, who I am in general, um yeah, like I would probably stick to something magic related because I'm not like, you know, the most fit person. I can't be a fucking dragoon giant jumping like, you know, 20 stories in the air.
do you see my character? I do just fine.
Well, I mean, it is fantasy after all, so. But I mean, no, thank you. I really don't feel like skydiving with a spear. So,
This little
um,
thing that's behind us that's like floating around. I don't know why. I just imagined the really fat woman on a hoverboard like in the sky, like Kendra from Cleveland Show.
oh god. But I guess yeah, I would do something magical related, more so like an oracle maybe.
Hmm.
I do like that job a lot. And I guess also like astrologian. I like the whole using cards and stuff like that. I think that's cool, but I don't want to sound like, a middle-aged housewife that's like really into tarot and going to her local psychic for a reading because, Madame Estelle says that, she's gonna, you know, come into money or something. I don't know.
Right. For me, I think you already know the obvious answer.
Resident Evil, you just want to be surrounded by death.
Oh God, no. No, I would not pick Resident Evil, and I want to also add to my answer. So mine would be Digimon. I would love to live in the digital world. And I never understood, like watching the anime and stuff, why the fuck those kids wanted to go back home. Like I would live there. Like fuck the real world. I would live in the digital world like all day, every day.
Um, yeah. I mean, yeah.
And think about it, you get like a really cool companion. Like I don't know who I would be partnered up with, but like the kids like haven't got him on. Like you have a cute cat that turns into an angel in the thong, and then it turns into a dragon. So
Yeah. That, that, yeah. Yay, Japan.
right. Oh no, my cat turned into a refrigerator.
My wife is digivolving.
Waifumon.
She's now an SUV.
Come on, we gotta go pick up milk.
And then drop off little Timmy at soccer practice. Come on, Timmy, let's get inside mommy.
Alright,
Ugh.
what's your next one?
Oh, sorry. Mm. So whenever you have like a gaming session where it's just like you have a night to yourself, you're not being bothered by anyone, it's just a solo night, you get to play whatever the fuck you want. What is your go-to food and drink when you're just vegging out on that shit? That just like is just like it just brings you there.
Okay, so this is gonna sound super specific, but so if I am all alone and it is nighttime and there is a thunderstorm going on outside, my go-to is Resident Evil 2 original, having a Little Caesars pizza and Diet Pepsi.
Okay. Not bad. I mean, that makes a lot of sense. That's not psychotic at all, which I thought it would have been.
Oh, what did you think?
Um, well, I figured it was Resident Evil, nighttime, possibly a storm, but the food? Oh, yeah. I was thinking like black jelly beans and to drink, um, oh God, what is it called? Ginger ale.
No. I mean, yes to the black jelly beans, but no. What kind of fucking
But I mean,
psychopath?
combining those two is like psychotic.
I know. I was going to see what psychopath goes out and like picks up a case of ginger ale on purpose unless you're sick.
I guess that's me. I like ginger ale, you bitch.
Oh, you
Not
got
as much as
daddy
I like seven.
issues.
Oh, but I prefer 7 Up if I had to pick.
Oh, there was one 7-Up that was like cherry with it. I think it was like a Christmas
Mhm.
thing. That shit was so good. Oh, and that Shirley Temple one. Ah, that was good too.
The cherry 7 Up. That's a
No, I
constant
was
thing,
thinking more of the Shirley Temple one that
Mhm.
happened last year, I think.
Right? That was not bad. I just prefer regular 7 Up.
Right.
Um, but I guess for me, it's gonna sound very weird, but um, like for me, if I had the ability, like without using any sort of like what are they called? Thingies. You,
That is a very broad thing.
The emulators, that's the word I'm thinking of. Without using emulators and ROMs and all that, if I could go back in time, like or at least have a device, I would have a Game Boy Color and play Pokemon Yellow.
Okay.
That would be my nostalgia thing. But to eat with it, Chinese food.
Okay.
Like I would have some takeout from the local Chinese place. I'd have Pokemon Yellow in a Game Boy Color, and the Game Boy Color has to be that lime green.
Yes.
It can't be any other color. It has to be lime green. That's the color I associated with a lot as a kid. Like that was the one I mainly got to use. Even though I never owned a Game Boy Color, I had friends that had Game Boy Colors, and that was the one I got to play on a lot. Was the lime green one, and then also that kind of like a teal color, that bluish color.
That's one I had.
Yeah. And then I had a friend that had the Pokemon Yellow one that was yellow with the colorful buttons and shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, I had a friend with that, and I thought that was cool. But the lime green one, 100%. Pokemon Yellow, Chinese takeout, and to drink Pepsi.
So I just want to add to that. Do you remember back in the day playing on Game Boy? How fucking much you annoyed your parents with buying batteries for it?
Well, like I said, I didn't really have one.
Oh. Oops.
I borrowed. One of my friends, like the one with the lime green one, they let me borrow their Game Boy Color a few times,
Uh-huh.
and yeah, I think my parents were a little annoyed because they would be like, "Why are we missing AA batteries?"
Your mom's gonna have sexy time and get mad at you. Where's
Those
my
are
batteries?
those are D batteries, baby.
She got a lawnmower
Sometimes
battery.
a car battery.
You put headphones on, happy thoughts, pallet town, happy thoughts.
you knew when you saw mommy with the car battery that she was going to be sent straight to the moon.
I never knew mommy was so religious.
Oh, oh my god.
Shit. All right. My question now. Let's see.
Mm-hmm.
Jesus. What is your favorite era of gaming?
Era?
Yes, like
Oh,
we had Nintendo, and then we had PlayStation, and then like Wii and all that stuff. So, what was your favorite console of all time? I guess.
okay. Super Nintendo.
Yes.
That is 100% where it was at for me. Along with Sega. Those were my two favorite from back in the day. And then eventually, PS1.
Hmm.
PS2 was probably top tier for, what it was because it was also backwards compatible. And I fucking loved that.
Yes. I think for me, PlayStation 1 was where it was at 100%. I also agree with Nintendo because it seemed like they had the largest library of games that you can possibly think of, and almost everything was a Nintendo game. Every single movie just about was Nintendo.
Yes.
Like Jaws,
Because
fucking Friday 13th, Nightmare on Elm Street, like all of that was like on Nintendo.
everything was, yeah. That's because Nintendo was the reigning champ of the gaming world for the longest time. And then the 2000s hit, and Sony and Microsoft came in and said, "Move, bitch."
Right.
And ever since then, Nintendo's kind of just shrunk in the corner and just been complacent with the usual games that they put out, and that's about it.
They really need to broaden their horizon with what they put out. Like Nintendo, when you think of consoles, you think of Xbox, PC, and PlayStation being the more adult console, like, and then you have Nintendo products like Switch that you think are more for kids. At least in my opinion, you do, just because
Mm-hmm.
of their target audience and just because of their library that they have.
Oh, actually, you can't forget the Wii. The Wii was pretty peak for Nintendo because not only
Oh,
was it current, but you could buy the old Nintendo games, you know?
yes.
So you could have that nostalgia without, having to blow into a cartridge.
I remember the Wii being like top tier for me for the longest time because I remember playing um, some of the rail shooters, like the Umbrella Resident Evil Umbrella Corps, I think was one of them, and Dark Side Chronicles. Those were a lot of fun. But what really like got me on the Wii was this Dragon Quest game that I had, and it was so fucking cool because you use both controllers. One was a shield and the other one was a sword, and like slashing away at the monsters felt so real at the time. Like it was top notch.
Oh, yeah. Um, Legend of Zelda Twilight Princess was like that on the
Hmm.
Wii, and it was phenomenal. I loved it. I enjoyed the GameCube as well. It has some really good games. I hated the controller.
Yes,
Just like the N64, the controller
I
was
was about to say that
absolute
too.
dog shit.
Yes, absolutely.
Fun games, but bad controller.
Yes. So wait, it's your turn, right? Right?
Yes.
Okay.
I mean, I guess it doesn't matter. It's like, whatever, you know?
I,
Your turn. No, your turn.
I was gonna say
Giggle.
real quick. What is a game from a franchise that had maybe a spin-off game or like a sequel that everyone hated, gave it so much shit, but you loved? Like for example, for me, Mortal Kombat. One of my favorite Mortal Kombat games was Sub-Zero Mythologies, and I know it was like close to fucking impossible. That is like the OG fucking Dark Souls of games.
Yeah.
But I love that game, and I think it would be pretty cool if they did a remaster of it.
hmm Um, I never personally played it, but I have watched others
Oh God,
post videos of playing it, and it just watching it was frustrating. I was like, nah, I can't.
that game, everything had to be pixel fucking perfect. If he was off by the tiniest little bit, because it was a side-scrolling like adventure game, but it was also
hmm
very heavy into the platforming, and a lot of the game was very fucking cryptic. Like it really gave you no direction on where to go, but like everything had to be so perfect. Like you could not make a single mistake, or you was just dead. Also, the game did not have a save feature. It had a passcode feature, but not like a save feature, which was also very hard.
Yeah. That's what made older games like so unique back in the day was the fact that, most games did not have save files.
Hmm.
It was just you go until you either beat the game or, you know, had to stop or died. And then if
That
any of that happened, then you had to restart.
that in like Pokemon games, or more specifically like Game Boy games, where they had that battery in them for the save file, and if that battery was fucked, then you just couldn't save.
I don't recall that.
I am pretty sure that there was like a battery in the game. I might have to come back to that, but I'm pretty sure.
I was like, I'm literally trying to think hard on that one because I don't recall any sort of issues like that or hearing about that sort of feature.
Yeah, I'm pretty
I
sure.
mean,
I might just be
um,
tripping, which is possible,
or
but
maybe there is, and I just didn't come across it.
all of that and like a huge fucking thing was, so when the Game Boy Advance SP came out, I remember it was backwards compatible as well, and you could play your Game Boy Color games on it, but
Mm-hmm.
it stuck out. Like it didn't fit properly into the system.
Mm-hmm.
And if you jarred that bitch in the slightest, all your shit was just fucked. Like if you didn't save, you was fucked.
Oh God, that's annoying.
Yes.
In fact, my first, and this is going to be a little bit of a shocker to you, probably, I'm not sure, but my first handheld Nintendo console thing, yeah, was was the DS Lite.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Before then, I never even considered owning any of their handhelds, or I was too broke.
Right.
Like back during the Game Boy Color era, I was too poor. Like that was not even feasible. Like my parents were like, haha, "No,
My mama
you're
had
getting clothes
this.
for Christmas."
My mama had this magical thing called Finger Hut.
Yeah, Oh God, Finger Hut. Now that's a
Yeah.
disgusting blast from the past.
Ate it. That and fucking Avon.
Yeah. Avon calling.
Go away, bitch. I don't want your shit.
Exactly. But anyways, as for any, what was the question? Something about a sequel to a game that I like, but everyone dogged on.
Yes.
I can't think of anything sequel wise because back before the heyday of the internet when everyone started posting their opinions online about shit. I mean that I wasn't aware of how other people felt about the games I played. I
Oh
just
my god.
picked
That
things I found enjoyable and stuck with it.
that reminds me of the whole reviews back then. Like you had to have Game Informer or like Nintendo Power for like reviews and shit back then.
Hmm.
And I remember I was watching this episode of Angry Video Game Nerd where he was talking about Earthbound and how everyone dogged on that game and said it was like shit. And like playing it is like holy hell, like this is like one of the best RPGs besides like Final Fantasy.
Mm. It is. The Earthbound series can be fun.
Hmm.
It's definitely different from your typical fantasy RPG, and that's kind of a breath of fresh air. It is interesting that I can't remember if it was the first one or whatever. I can't remember because the way Japan and US does the whole numbering system, they never match up half the time back then.
Wasn't
Um,
Earthbound called Mother in Japan?
yes. So I
Okay.
can't remember what number installment it was of that franchise, but the final boss was, I think, basically like a fetus or whatever.
Yeah. I think it was the first one.
Yeah. So they're fun. They're interesting. That's another one I think would be kind of fun if they brought it back and updated the graphics a bit. It doesn't need to be like ultra modern graphics, but maybe something the Switch can handle. That'd be pretty cute.
I'm thinking for that game, make it more look like Wind Waker, like that kind of cartoonish style.
Oh, yeah, the cartoony cell shaded.
Hmm.
That'd be cute. I like that. Um, I'm not actually going back on the whole remaking. Um, I honestly feel like Twisted Metal deserves some love,
Yes, because I know
especially
you did
now
not.
with the huh?
I was gonna say I know you did not play the last one. Like the last one that came out was on PS3.
No, I only played the first three,
Oh, okay.
and I loved them as a kid. I thought they were a lot of fun. I played with some neighborhood friends, and it was a blast. And I think it honestly deserves that kind of love because, I mean, the franchise is obviously still popular to this day with
Series coming out.
the TV series. They have the first season out now. The second one's coming at the end of next month.
Yeah,
So I definitely think they should, you know, think about bringing it back with updated graphics. They
definitely.
don't have to give us a new installment. Just remake the first few, and
They
yeah.
should do that in the sense that how they remade Tomb Raider, like they did that three, it was like the first three, and they just updated the graphics and had the ability where you can switch back to the older graphics, I think that'd be a lot of fun to do.
That makes sense. I like that.
It's really fun that you haven't played anything past like the first few, because when Black came out on PS2, I think you would really like Black because it took a huge twist on everything.
See, I don't know why I didn't gravitate towards Black because, like I said, I enjoyed the first three, and maybe it just didn't pique my interest at that time because I was more heavily involved into a few other games like Final Fantasy X and Kingdom Hearts. So
I will
I don't
say,
know.
like, Black, while I liked it, I do like the funny aspect of everything in the previous Twisted Metals. Like, the whole wish got twisted around and now you're a bug in, like, some garden. But Black definitely took, like, the darker side of Twisted Metal, and that's kind of what they went forward with. Um, I don't know. I think it was still a lot of fun to play. The last one that came out was just god awful. The roster for the game was, I think, maybe 5 or 6 characters, which is
Ugh.
weird for Twisted Metal because they're known for their big roster. But
Mm-hmm.
on top of that, there was these stupid fucking racing game, like mini games in it, and it was just, it took everything Twisted Metal had going for it and just flushed it down the toilet. Like, it was
Yeah.
just bad.
Mm. Yeah, I mean, speaking about Black, that's the one thing that, no, well, the first thing that came to mind when I first saw the cover art was, oh, this looks pretty dark.
Mhm.
Like, this looks like it should be, a game that nobody under, 18 should even look at,
Oh yeah.
just because of how dark and grunge it looked.
I have
Like,
a very fun story about that. I'll tell real quick. Remember back when I told you, it's like a few episodes ago, that I had a big brother that would take me out?
mhm.
He took me to his house, and he had a kid who had all these games and shit. So he was watching me play Twisted Metal Black, and obviously I picked Sweet Tooth because why not? And in
Mhm.
his story, he says, "Shut up and plead, you motherfucker." And he got up and turned that off so quick. I'm like, no, I want to play it.
Oh my god. Like the kid did that?
No, Sweet Tooth said that in the game. That's why he
No,
went
no,
up
no, no,
and.
no, no. I mean, the kid turned the TV off or whatever.
No, the big brother guy turned it off.
Oh, okay, okay. I thought the kid was like, "Oh no, bad language."
No. Meanwhile, I'm just sitting here as a kid, like, what? I hear that shit every day. Like, it's nothing to me.
Oh my god. Oh, actually, so there's another game, and it's kind of a oddball one for a lot of people, but there's another one that definitely I feel like needs to be remade and tweaked, fixed because it had its issues.
Mhm.
But Mega Man Legends was a PS1 game that I fell in love
Yes.
with,
Yes. I never
and
beat the game, but I
I
liked it a lot.
did, I beat the game, but I never got to play the spin-off and the sequel.
Bitch.
And I wanted to for the longest time, but then by the time I was able to even consider it, it was a game that was like stupid hard to find.
Yeah. I never
And
played the sequel.
um yeah, I finally looked into it like online. I looked at like the story for it, and it was interesting. It was different. There was supposedly a third installment that was going to be made, but then something happened. They just up and canceled.
Wasn't there a spin-off of that game? It was like Tron Bon or something?
Mm-hmm.
Thought so.
Yeah, which I would have played, but once again, hard to find at the time.
Hmm.
Um, but yeah, I think they should reconsider the idea of remaking those, make them a little bit less janky, update the graphics, and yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, the voice acting was god awful, but at the same time, keep it just for humor's sake.
The controls in that game were very weird, and I
They were
remember
bad.
my no that because I played it on PlayStation,
Hmm.
and my little cousin had a 64, and he also had it, and I was playing it, and I felt like a cat trying to paw at something because the controls were just so fucking weird. On top of having the weird controller.
So when that game actually came out, that was during the part of the when PS1 controller did not have the
DualShock
yeah, it
or
didn't have the
analog stick.
toggles or whatever.
Yeah,
Yeah, analogs. That's it.
yeah, yeah.
And so you had to use, I believe, like the R and L button to do the turning of the camera and
Hmm.
character and all that shit. And it was just like, oh no.
Yeah. Especially when you had like a horde of enemies on you, and it's like turn faster.
Exactly. And I did like the little feature in the game where if you did naughty things, he became darker, like his armor color.
I didn't know that. I remember like being in the mall in the very beginning of the game, and you can go into the stores and like you can go into like the magazine store, and he's like, "Oh, a dirty magazine."
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was fun. But yeah, I wish they would just remake the first two and the spin-off and then reconsider bringing the third one out
Right.
because I enjoyed it. The first one, I would love to continue, and I think it'd be something kind of fun to reintroduce to the younger generation
Hmm.
because Mega Man, unfortunately, seems to be kind of one of those things that not a
Capcom has
whole
kind of
lot
put in
of
the corner.
well that and a lot of the younger generation isn't fully aware of when
Right.
he was a huge staple of my childhood.
Hmm.
Like the old Mega Man games and Mega Man X, holy crap.
Right.
So,
Right.
anyways, moving on from all that, so I guess what are some of your least favorite games of all time and why? Like,
Um.
just not because not when I say like your least favorite, I'm talking like you really tried to get into it. You tried to play it through, or you did play it through, but it was just so bad because of whatever reasons.
mm,
You just hated it. It's just dog shit to you.
Uh, while it's not really dog shit to me, I cannot play through any kind of Elder Scroll games, Oblivion, anything, Fallout. I cannot do it because
Okay.
it is too big for me to go through. And I end up wandering like 5 billion miles away from where I'm supposed to go. And I just lose interest so quick. And I know like Fallout series is like amazing, you know, like everyone raves about them, but I can't play them.
Well, I mean, that's the beauty of those type of games is you don't have to stick to the main story. You can go off and do other things and come back to the main plot at any time.
I need direction in my life.
That's why I like those games is because it's not entirely like linear. It's open.
Yeah.
And so I feel that freedom and I'm like, hell yeah. And I guess that's like for me, like one of the games I absolutely cannot stand is Final Fantasy 13 because of how linear it is.
The
Like,
hallway simulator.
yes, yes, the hallway simulator. Like, okay, granted, yes, a lot of Final Fantasies technically are linear in a way,
Mhm.
but this one felt very confined.
Yeah, I agree with you.
And I guess I'd have to go with 15 as well because even though it was more open world and there was a lot of things to do, it was just I hated the characters. Absolutely
15. When
hated.
I was watching a video, and they was talking about a boss that takes 24 hours to beat.
Yes. So in 12, there was actually a boss in the original one that was like that.
Which one was
So
12?
it's not. 12 is the one where they introduced that unique battle mechanics where you had to set things up and they would do things like on auto and whatnot.
That was the one with Fran in it, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, I loved 12. I adore it. It's different, but I had a lot of fun with it.
I like 12. I never beat it, and I will say Fran is the only character I ever gave a shit about.
Yeah, the majority of the cast of your party is pretty obnoxious in that one. Not as bad as 13 though. All of those characters are just. God, I just wanted to put each and every one into the bathtub face first.
With a toaster buddy.
Mommy's tired of your noises.
Was there another question he was going to ask me?
Oh, well, I mean, obviously, I have plenty of questions for you every day, all day.
Why are you still trying? That's one I hear quite often.
Oh my God. No, so, okay, here's a good one that's kind of interesting to me, and I think about it from time to time, is should there be more games that exceed the M rating? And why, like, give an example of what you would like to see in, like, a game that would, that, like, give an example of something that you would like to see, yeah, and that most games shy away from, that would push it past that rating.
um, Probably for me, and it's something that they used to do and don't really do it anymore, is battle damage in games. I remember when Mortal Kombat 9 came out, and the battle damage in that was like crazy. Like you see your character standing there, clothes ripped up, um, just like very bruised up face. Parts of their skin was torn off. You can see visible cuts, and that's something you don't see in a lot of games anymore. Even games like Resident Evil, like I would want to see the more gore aspect of those games. Like, for instance, if an explosion happens, I want to see your clothes like charred up. I want to see your face charred up. I want to smell the burnt hair coming from you. Like,
You want
you know,
television, gotcha.
like that's something I want to see that makes it more realistic.
Right.
I don't know if I answered your question or not, but
No, I mean, it did. I mean, but it would have to be, like, gory enough, yeah, to exceed the M rating,
yes.
which I feel like people deter from because they feel like it might put a huge dip in their sales.
Hmm.
But there are people out there like us who love the violence and the gore, and not because we're violent and we want to act out on those things, but it's just entertaining to us. And it's a stress reliever for me. Like, I love to see that kind of shit after I had a rough day at work. Like, not that I'm thinking about doing that to a customer, just I just want to see that, Like, I want to see more adult things. I'm tired of playing games and they hold back like I'm some, tween that can't handle someone having
Ooh,
their
ooh, ooh.
intestines ripped out and shoved back down their throat and then ripped out their ass and then I don't know.
So another thing that kind of adds to that a little bit, but is, and I'm sure you've noticed this in some games, especially in Mortal Kombat, is I want to see the sexiness of the women again. Like I feel that some they are afraid of being sexual with their characters like they used to be. Like
Because too
Melina,
many people complain saying, "Oh, you're sexualizing."
God, you're
Mm.
sexualizing. So you have this woman out here that is, dressed how she wants, like in a thong and a bra, barely anything on, and she's whooping ass. Like, bitch, that means a lot. Like, you're going out there half naked, whipping people's ass, and
I'd love to see that with the men characters too. Like, let's just make everybody sexy. Make
right?
that an option. If you don't want to see your character in barely anything or whatever, then swap out their gear and make them covered head to toe like a fucking nun.
Come on, sexy option.
Well, like, okay, so you know how, like, in some games, like Mortal Kombat, for instance, they do give you that option to swap out pieces of armor and whatnot.
Okay, yes, but you gotta admit, like in the past couple of games, there hasn't been, even with the other costume customizations, it's still
Hmm.
very covered up. And
Oh, yeah.
I guess I'm more specifically looking at Melina because I remember, that was like the sex icon of Mortal Kombat. And now she's like, I don't know, just wearing regular street clothes and not that crazy bitch that we used to love.
I don't know. I mean, I feel like Jade was right up there too,
Yeah,
especially with
yeah.
her spear, because she would like pole dance on that shit.
Mm-hmm. Yep. I remember that.
But yeah, I would like to just have that option to make things sexier. I would love the gore increase, the violence. Like, okay, you remember the whole issue with Manhunt, right?
Yes.
Yeah, I would love to bring the extreme back. Like, don't let people cry over it because they personally don't want to see it or they don't want their kids to see it. Like, you have free will. You can control what you see and don't see, and the same for your children. Like, don't blame other people for your negligence and being a stupid bitch, you know?
Games like
Like,
that, like, I don't think that developers realize that a lot of times that, and this is going to be like a really weird line of saying things, but some of those games, that's how people get their daily frustration out, like acting
mm-hmm,
upon that stuff in the game, and that's a release for them. And
mm-hmm,
that could potentially stop any kind of actual events from happening.
mm-hmm. Oh, another thing, nudity. Like, why are we shying away from nudity in the adult
I
games?
I don't know, girl, because I
Like,
played Tormented Souls in the very first like 5 minutes. Bitch wakes up naked in a bathtub, titties out, missing an eye, and everything.
well, okay, but so for instance, like, yes, they do show tits a lot.
Hmm.
When they do decide to show nudity, it's usually women, and it's usually
Right.
just the tits. You make it an ass, cheek or here or whatever, but
The
uh,
occasional game where you spend $70 for DLC, you can see a little bit of cooter.
like who like okay, so I grew up with hippie parents, so nudity has never really entirely been a sexualized thing. But so like if I see a nudity in a video game, I'm not gonna bat an eyelash. I'm not gonna be like, oh girl, look at them titties swing around like all crazy and shit. Lou, I wanna suck on them no, fuck that. It's a video game. Anyway. But I mean, I think they should explore that a bit more and make it a an even playing field. Let's see dick.
Right.
Like,
That's
does the
something you
dick need
don't
to be
see.
erect? No.
That's something you don't see, even in films, like you don't see very often.
Yeah, it's extremely rare and it's a quick flash.
Hmm.
Like, that's back in the day when you had to pause and slowly rewind your DVD to see the wee wee.
Or VHS.
Well, VHS, you risk completely destroying it by doing that shit.
Yeah, but you gotta think in those times we didn't have anything else.
Well, that's true. That and the fuzzy naughty channel that you could never fully get to come in because your parents are not gonna pay for Skinamax or whatever. And so you relied on that until you were at least 18, and then you can go to the adult store to see the covers of all the DVDs and shit. And yeah,
So I have a question for you,
God, I just went there.
and I'll answer with my question. I'll answer the same question. Do you have any video game tattoos? And if you do, what is the meaning behind them?
Do I actually do not have any video game tattoos, which is odd. You think
Yeah,
I
I'm
would?
surprised.
I do plan on getting a few different things. I just got to figure out what, when, and where, and all that.
Right. I have
2 million.
I have three. I have Pac-Man and all the ghosts on my arm. The reason behind that is that was the first game I've ever recall playing, and my mom introduced me to it. We used to go to this mom and pop shop, and they had the tabletop Pac-Man game, and we would play the shit out of that, and that's why I got that. My other two is Sub-Zero from Mortal Kombat, because that's like my favorite character from like the absolute very beginning. Like I've always played as him, and every game I would force myself to learn how to play as him. And the memory behind that is my brother, how he introduced me to Mortal Kombat. So that's kind of a tie-in with that. And the other one is I have a Resident Evil piece. I have Nemesis and the eye from Resident Evil 2 on my arm. And it's not finished all the way. I do want to add some more Resident Evil themes to it. Like I want to add Ada to it and have a liquor on there as well. But again, that was another childhood memory from my brother, just watching him play those games.
Nice.
Mhm.
Very nice. Oh, um, yeah, I've thought about various game tattoos and tried to come up with ideas that were, that had some sort of connection with me, but also wanted to be original with my ideas and not just, oh look, it's the Triforce from Zelda. I want that.
Right.
No offense to those out there that have that tattoo, of course. I mean, it's a great franchise, and if you love it, then great. But I just wanted to be different and do something else. I just haven't fully figured out what, and I don't want to just throw something on my body like I have done and regretted.
Oh, so I do have another one. It is the Summoner symbol from 14. And
I have thought about getting all the symbols of each job, but I got to do it strategically because they keep adding new ones, and I want to make sure wherever I have it, I can add on to it without making it look crazy.
right.
Continue. I'm sorry.
Oh no, no. So I have that. And one of the tattoos I've always wanted that I thought would be a really cool piece, and I eventually want to get it. So I have Sub-Zero on my leg, and the spot that's like right behind it, there's nothing there. So my idea was to have Cyrax put on there like a frontal, like face forward look on him, but I want it to be split. I want one side to be Sector, the middle to be Cyrax, and then the other side to be Smoke.
Nice. That's a lot, though, for one area like that.
Well, no, it's
Do you,
just kind of like color, like just recoloring like Cyrax to have that three colors. So
like, is this a full body of them, or just their heads, or what?
the head going down to the chest, like not really any arms, kind of like a bust.
Okay. Okay. I mean, that. You said on your leg, you want that?
Mhm.
Uh, I mean, it could work, but I'm afraid with how small that space is for three things like that, you.
Oh no, no, it's not going to be three things. It's just a one bust, just three different colors on that one bust.
Oh, okay, I misunderstood. I thought you
Yeah,
meant
yeah.
three different,
No.
and I'm like, that sounds like a back or chest piece, but okay.
And eventually, I do want to have a back piece done and have all the summons from Final Fantasy. And I want God,
Girl.
what the fuck's his name?
Are you talking about throughout the entire franchise or a specific number or what?
I'm going to pick and choose which ones I want. Like, I can't remember
Okay.
his name right off, but I think he was from 10, I want to say. It's that one creature that has his arms, like, in his chest, kind of, and he's got chains all around him.
Are you talking about Anima? And
Yeah,
it's
yeah,
a
yeah, yeah, yeah.
girl. It's a female.
Yeah, I don't give a fuck if it's a boy or girl. I want that shit.
No, Anima is a pretty bitchin' looking summon, but
Yes.
thing is, when you said all the summons, I was like, girl, that is a lot of summons. You would be covered.
It's going to start at my neck and go to my ass.
Bye bye back.
Each cheek I'm going to have Shiva, was it Shiva or Shiva? Shiva, right?
Yeah.
I'm going to have her on one cheek, I'm going to have Ifrit on the other cheek.
Fire and ice back there, baby.
And then at the very top, I'm going to have Thunder Daddy on.
Oh, Ramu, yeah.
He's going to be the tramp stamp.
Oh my god.
Um,
Oh my
let's see.
god.
I got
That's
another one for you.
okay.
What is your top 5 Mortal Kombat characters? And why?
I mean, okay, so first off, obviously Jade is there.
Mm,
Jade is always gonna be in my top tier list because she is one of my absolute favorites, especially of the female cast.
hmm
And it's not entirely just because of the whole green aesthetic, because green's my favorite color, but I like her. I like her move sets that she has in every game that she's in. Um, even her weapons, whether it's the boomerang weapon or the spear.
hmm
Um, she's overall my favorite. So her,
She was always the
um,
bane of my existence playing Ultimate Mortal Kombat 3 because she can
oh,
do that one move where she goes invincible and you can't do anything about it. Yeah, that was a pain in the ass. But continue.
so her, um, trying to think who else I really liked. Probably OG Nightwolf, like back during the Sega Nintendo era.
hmm
I really liked him back then. I also, out of all the cyborgs, yeah, Cyrax was my favorite.
hmm
Um, so let's see, those three. Um, even though she hasn't been in a lot of the games, I think she's only been in like actually maybe just one. What Scarlet? Has she only been in one, or has she been in two of them now?
She has been in 9 as a DLC character, and she was in 11.
That's right. Okay. So I like her because she's crazy as fuck, and her whole thing is blood, and so yay gore.
Yes.
I like the whole thing about her is very, Bloody Mary late, the whole what's her face? Oh yeah, Bloody Mary. So yeah. Um Virgin blood, yay. So my fifth one has to be oh probably Rain. Just
Okay.
because of the water element and how he could also use, lightning as well. Like
hmm
I don't remember if he could use lightning in the newer games.
Yes.
Okay.
My top 5 Sub-Zero, obviously. Shiva. I love Shiva. Like, I think she is so fucking cool.
Out of all
Um,
the four-armed bastards, yeah, she's definitely top.
yeah. Um, Noob Saibot, just because of how gory he is. Like he holds nothing back.
Very death, yeah.
Yeah. Reptile.
Ooh. Which reptile?
Every single one of them except from 4 and that one where he was a giant fucking lizard.
Okay, yeah, definitely.
And 5, um, probably Cabal. I love his move sets, and I love his fatality from like the OG Mortal Kombat where he took his mask off and screamed, and your soul ran out of the body. That was the fucking best.
I'm kind of surprised you didn't say MK4 Tanya.
Oh God.
She just wants to take your order. The whole coochie spin, come on. She'll be number 6 for you. How about that?
Totally.
Honorary mention.
All right. Any other question?
Let's see.
Also, are you still good on time?
I should be for what, another a little less than an hour, but yeah.
Okay. Just making sure.
For all those wondering, none of your damn business.
Oh.
But anyways, I'm trying to think, cause yeah. Okay, you know what? I'll end. My final question, and it's kind of borrowing off your MK question you just asked me, but so out of all the summons from the Final Fantasy franchise, good lord, English is really not my language here. Out of all the summons, what are your top 5?
Shiva, for one. I think what makes me love her the most is when she snaps, like does a little snap and everything
So you're thinking
shatters.
10 Shiva.
Yeah, and even 14 Shiva. Um,
Mm.
let's see. I like when you summon the chocobos. That's really fun. And the cactar. Uh, Ramu is probably up there. And what's that one dude's name that's on the horse?
Are you talking about Odin?
Yeah.
Okay.
How about you?
Okay. Um, so I will have to agree about Shiva. She is definitely on my top 5. Uh, then Leviathan.
Yeah.
Um, Doom Train.
Ooh.
Um, Trying to think who else. Uh, Diablos. Just I like his aesthetic more than anything.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and I guess number 5 for me is probably Hades. Just because he was like, when you summon him, he would basically just cast like a flood the entire area of like every status effect.
Mm-hmm.
And to me, that's like the most beneficial thing when you go up against, like a horde of enemies that you don't want to deal with.
Right. Um, I'm surprised you didn't say, and I'm probably going to butcher his name, but Yojimbo.
Yojimbo? No, I don't care for him for the fact that he's kind of just
You
he's
spend all that time and all that money to unlock him, and he's just like the shittiest summon.
well, it's not really that per se. I don't care for he's just kind of a stereotypical kind of like samurai
Hmm.
And yeah, you have to pay him to do attacks, and you have to pay him a certain amount to do his ultimate attack. And it's like, no, that's my money, bitch. I own your ass. If you don't want to be summoned by me, then piss off. I'm not paying you money. Like, no. So I could not stand him, especially, or not especially, but intent. I just could not. I never, like, I obviously, maxed out stats the best I could, stuff like that with all my summons, but I never, like, no, he
Yeah.
was at the bottom of the barrel for me. Um, Same with like Ifrit and Bahamut. Like those, I know everybody loves them,
Hmm.
and that's fine. But it's just like Bahamut is like the the main one you think about when you think of summons.
They're basically the Pikachu of the game.
Yeah, and it's just like no, thank you. And sometimes they could be OP for no reason. It's like, because you're the king of dragons, blah 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 blah.
Hmm.
I will have to say Phoenix is also a pretty good one.
Hmm.
Main reason being like, oh shit, my party is pretty much dead. Let me summon Phoenix real quick.
Right.
So, um, could not stand Eden from 8,
Hmm.
and that was just because the cast time was so stupidly long. Along with Knights of the Round from 7.
Hmm.
It's like, yay, massive damage output, but let me go make a sandwich while this is going on.
Right.
Um, Trying to think who else I didn't care for. Um, I mean, I like Carbuncle because yay, I got protect shell or whatever um, when I needed it, but it also like when you have those spells already, I don't know, just meh. Like I guess he'll just sit in the background.
All right. I got one more question before we close off,
No, but
and
okay.
it'll probably be a long one because we're already at an hour and 22 minutes. So
No,
figure this is going to
those poor
be
people.
right. The one person watching. Thank you. Um, what moment in your life did you play a game and it scared you and you will always remember it?
A game that scared me?
It can be like the game scared you as a whole and you can't play it anymore, or like there's a specific part in the game that scared you. And, it's something like if you replay the game, you'll always have that memory of it. Like, you know, do you want me to
Honestly,
start? Or you got
well,
it?
like I'm just gonna be honest. There has never been a game that has scared me.
Not even as a kid?
No,
Oh,
I didn't have panic attacks. I didn't freak out. Nothing.
okay. So I'll tell you my story. When I was a kid, um, I lived with my mom and brother, and my brother would sometimes go to my aunt's house and stay the night there quite a bit. So I would sneak in his room because he had all the cool ass games, and
Mm-hmm.
my mom was at work, and I was at home, unsupervised by my sperm donor of a father, and I remember one night it was a fantastic idea for me to go and load up Resident Evil 2 on my brother's game or PlayStation, and I didn't want to mess with his save files or anything, so I just started a new game. And I was walking through the first bit of it. I got through the zombies, everything was fine, whatever. And when you finally got into the police station, going down one hallway everything's quiet, and you see like the windows boarded up, and all of a sudden, zombie hands just like bust through and grab you. And I remember being scared shitless to the point I dropped the controller, ran the fuck out of the room, sat and cried like a little bitch until my mom got home. Got my ass beat for playing that shit. And
Oh my god.
yeah, that always stuck with me. And just even going back and playing it, it's just a lot of fun having that memory of that happening.
That's amusing. Baby.
I was young.
Okay.
It was a jump scare.
Aw, baby's first jump scare.
Kind of, honestly.
And ever since then, you became desensitized by it. I'm like, meh.
Pretty fucking much. Since you didn't have the story to go on with yours, I'll ask
Oh
one
my
more
goodness.
question.
Oh boy.
Which one would you rather be in? The world of Resident Evil or the world of Silent Hill? And keep in mind, in the world of Silent Hill, um, all of your nightmares, all of your deepest, darkest secrets are going to come back as a monster and haunt you.
Well, not only that, but you don't really have much of a weapon choice in that game.
In Silent Hill?
Yeah.
Well, the thing with Silent Hill is you can use anything that you find. If you find a screwdriver, you can use that. If you find a plank of
Uh,
wood, use
uh,
that. So
oh.
it's very much like you use your resources.
Hmm. So either deal with past trauma and skeletons in my closet, or flesh-eating zombies and monsters.
Hmm.
Silent Hill, here I come.
Girl.
I don't care. I don't have really much to hide. And fuck it. I guess, at some point I'm gonna have to confront these inner demons. I'd rather do that than risk getting a liquor, chasing my ass.
You said, I don't know, because you think about like Silent Hill. Like I remember the one boss called fuck, what was his name? Something Daddy. I can't remember what his name was, but his manifestation was basically the girl was sexually abused by her father, and that was her nightmare coming out.
Oh,
So,
yeah.
I mean, you gotta think that's what's going to be haunting you.
Well, I hope it's Pyramid Head haunting me, because hello, Daddy.
Come on,
But yeah,
butt plug man.
I would just rather deal with the psychological shit than the whole zombie apocalypse. Even though I would most likely die pretty quickly in Resident Evil, but I don't know. Not a big fan of pain.
That's all Silent Hill is pain.
Emotional?
And you got the fuckers coming after you.
I'd laugh more than anything.
You telling me that you're going to laugh at a nurse coming at you with a fucking syringe and scalpel coming after you?
The way they move, yeah.
Uh, Good point. For me, it would probably be Resident Evil because I mean, either way, I'm fucked. But I've got a lot of demons, and I just don't need to revisit that. Because knowing my luck going into that game, something my mom used to love to traumatize me with, she would scratch on the walls and say, "Bloody Bones is coming to get you," and promise you that's the first fucking thing that's going to happen. Is I'm going to go in the world and giant bloody skeleton coming after me.
Oh. Yeah, psychological for me. That's fine. Enjoy your zombies.
I will.
Hopefully, you'll come across something that'll instantly decapitate you and you'll be good.
Enjoy your Zoloft meeting adventure.
Actually, you know what? I hope what's his face gets you.
What?
Oh, I can't remember his name. The big dude.
There's a lot of big dudes.
Um, sorry. The one that constantly chases you, not Nemesis, the other one.
Mr. X.
Yeah, I hope you have him.
Oh man, it couldn't be Barry.
Barry's batshit crazy, isn't he?
He is, but still, I mean, he looks better.
Actually, I hope you have to deal with like a giant tarantula or something.
It's not like I'm afraid of it.
No, but I mean, it's not going to be an instant death.
Yeah, well, I hope that when you go into Silent Hill that you just see a sentient pussy flying around, it just like munches you and like flies away.
I'd be grossed out, but I'd laugh.
Like it just wraps around your head, lifts you up, and just flies around town. And all you have to smell is like the worst Captain D's and Red Lobster dumpsters in the world.
Uh, okay, so I'd be throwing up inside it.
Yeah, you have to throw up inside of it, and that's what you smell.
Mmm.
And then when it gets to its destination, I hope a giant pair of titties drop on you like Flomp from Mario.
So you just want me to have a good time laughing?
Yeah. And
Yay.
the whole time that the pussy lips are taking you away, you have to hear that song. There she goes again.
Oh.
Yeah,
Yeah, that would be kind of nightmarish.
yeah. So have fun dealing with that. And on that note, I think we are done.
Hooray!
I think next time we should talk about TV shows.
TV shows. Ugh, what's TV? It's boring.
You're boring.
I mean, kind of. That's probably why we don't have, that many people interested in our shit. They're like, ew,
Right.
she babble.
All right. Bye.
Bye bye.